Hello, everyone. Welcome to the session titled Hyperledger CACTUS Project Update. This session will be presented by the co-author, the Shingo Fujimoto from the Fujitsu and Peter Somogyvari from the Accenture. So we are expecting to the 30 minutes presentations, and we'd like to reserve to the 10 minutes approximately for the question and answers. Please be prepared for your question and comments. So let's get started for the sessions. So as an introduction, unfortunately the Peter is not on the stage yet, but the Peter and I are the co-maintainer of the Cactus project. So we had over the 2 years we are collaborating to the developing to the cactus from the beginnings. So I myself is I'm a manager of the Fujitsu laboratory, the data and security research laboratory in Fujitsu, and I'm the working on the blockchain technology in the several years. So the Peter will be also he is a technical architect in the Accenture, and he is the architect manager of the Accenture, and he is also maintained to the top of the Hyperledger projects. So the very first half will be I will present to the background of the project and the status, and later on I will give the mic to the Peter to introduce to the several the working examples and the future plans. That is the consistent structure of the today's sessions. So the first of all, I'd like to explain to you the some background of the cactus. So just imagine to the shopping scenes in the towns, and user eyes want to buy some of the shopping items from the shopping truck bulk. That is very easier to trust because they are in person. So the both party can trust each other for the payment and giving the items. Yeah, so at the same time, in so that was happening for the in real world. However, that is not easy as in the virtual world. So for example, for the payment, we needed some sort of the virtual currency or a stable coin will be the use on the blockchain, and that blockchain has an account for the artist or both. And also the shopping item need to be some sort of the management systems which keep the record of the ownership of the digital assets. So when the trade between to the user artist and shop Bob will be made, that means to the coin will be a transfer from the artist to Bob one on the one ledger, and another ledger Bob will be transferring to the ownership of the item to the artist. So the problem on this use cases will be there is no mechanism exist for the synchronization between the blockchains. So here's the scene of the Cactus comes. So the Cactus will be providing to the security mechanism to integrate to the blockchain security. So I believe that Peter has come the stage. Hello, Peter. Can you hear me?
Hi, Shingo. Yes, I'm ready to take over my slide.
Okay, thank you. So I just started to the first slide. So can you give your self introduction as a short?
Yes, and apologies for being late. I'm Peter Somogyvari. I'm one of the maintainers of Hyperledger Cactus. My day job is to work at as a technology architect at Accenture, and part of that is me being the maintainer, one of the maintainers of Cactus. And nice to meet you all.
So thank you, Peter. So I will give the mic for you for introducing to the use cases and the future plans later. So the second slide showing to the role of the cactus in the Hyperledger greenhouse. So in the Hyperledger project, we have several broken blockchain platforms in the same umbrella: Besu, Barrow, Fabric, Indy, Evoher, and Sotus. So I believe that those are the competing each other because of there is a no one fits all solution for the digital asset management and the some sort of the trial kind of the mechanism. We want to the Cactus will be collaborate with such a blockchain project potentially. And also, we need to be collaborate potentially with other the library perspective like ARIS and other because of those providing to the useful script libraries and features in use of the blockchains. So the Cactus is categorized in the one the tools in the Hyperledger, and we had a born in the 2020 in the spring. That was the 16th official project in the greenhouse. So the other recent update, after the almost 1 years from our establishment of the Cactus, we announced the blog post as some sort of the interim achievement. Which was version 0.4 was released. That was the first release of the source code for the public. That was improved from the architecture from the beginnings, and now that we are some sort of the modularity was improved, and we had the very the stable architecture now. And the important part of the architecture will be two. The first one will be Ledger plugins. That is consist with verifier and validator and the connector for the features the interworking blockchain dependent. So the validator will be a node on the deployed on the interworking ledgers, and that will be just providing some sort of the abstraction operation on the ledger and monitoring. And also on the other hand, the Cactus will be integrated into the Cactus application, which will be consistent with the infrastructure part, which is named to the Cactus Node server. And we also have the very application-specific logic named to the business logic plugin, which might be the vendor-specific. So as a collaboration of those two components, the Cactus will be provide to the various sort of the application we can be provided. So the basic concept of the Cactus will be the business logic plugin will be interact with the validator server in the three type of the communications. The first communication type of the communication will be submitting to the transaction data, which was supposedly already signed, and that is a kind of bridging for the difference of the abstract to the difference of the communication protocol, and the business logic will be sent to the abstracted the data through the communication channels. And because of that, submittance of the transaction data will be a asynchronous manner. The blockchain business logic will be also need to the monitoring for the those transaction is the successfully accepted or not. And those are determined by the monitoring for the blockchain data which was generated. Those notification will be also come through the communication channel in the bi-directional manner. And business logic plugin also in occasionally need to the making the query type of the operations, like getting to the balance or the current ownership of the asset. So those kind of the mechanism will be the also provided as the synchronous way. However, in the communication perspective, that was the integrated as asynchronous, and that will be absorb the differences. So the following slide we're providing to the information about how that we can develop to the Ledger plugin for the specific ledgers. So the in the center we will have a Cactus node is could be running, and we determine to the which the blockchain ledger technology will be the interworking. And at that time, we will start to the building to the Docker container, which name to the testnet or one all-in-one container will be provided as a tool. And the second step, we will the implementing to the validator server, which contain to the ledger specific part of the operations. Like we need to the sending to the transaction. So that will be the validator server will the forward those operation to the actual ledger protocol in as a bridge. And also we also providing the testing mechanism, testing framework that can be tested for those validator as a parts. And finally, we will providing to the some of the example application which can use to the validator as an application. So those connectivity will be absorbed in the two way of the two choice. The one for the socket IO and the one for the another one will be an open API. And either the communication mechanism was chosen, the Cactus the business logic plugin as the example application can be absorbed to the minimize to the difference of the operations and the protocols. So as I mentioned in the two page before, the Cactus was now published as the public comment for the stage for the evaluation purposes. So those are contained to the, for example, applications like car trade, electric trade, and supply chain management, and renewable energy trade. All those are very the interesting topics. So those applications using the actually for the following the Ledger plugins. Those are we are enhancing to the support before the version 1 will be released. Those plan will be presented by the Peter later. So I will explain to the how the Cactus application work with the Cactus in step-by-step manner, using to the first example named the car trade application. That is that is not the creating from the scratch. You probably may know the fabric, the Hyperledger fabric has the famous application named to the Fabucur, which managed the transfer to the ownership of the car one to the others. We used that application as a part of the Cactus application. And also we used the Ethereum the private chain for the simulator for the stable coins. So the in that configurations that fabric will be interconnected to the Cactus, and the Ethereum the network will be also connected to the Cactus independently. So defend the artist as a user issuing to the trade, that is assumed to the 1 hour the rent car for the paying the money. That is agreement of the service contract between to the artist and Bob. And Bob will be the responsible to execute the services, but the Cactus will be an intermediate for the security purposes. So when the Cactus received to the request, the Cactus will be help to issuing to the artist to the sending money to be the Cactus as a escrow. So the when the Cactus detected that the money was safely deposited, the Cactus will be issuing to the second logic to the Bob to the Hanako will be sorry the Aris will be the used to the curve. And finally, this transferring this service providing is the successfully ended. The Cactus will be executed to the deposit money to the transfer to the Bob as a successful case. So there is another the example like electricity trade, like that we also use to the sawtooth application, which name to the integer values. So we assume to the integer value system will be keeping record of the smart meter record, reading meter records will be keep the recorded. For the case of let's say the 2 kilowatts will be generated from the solar powers. That will be charged for the smart contract, and will be assigned to the money to the prosumer can be received to the $4.80 as a reward for the power generations. So the interesting point will be there is no the implicit invocation of the application was not happened in these use cases. The example will be automatically executed by the smart contract as the smart contract like application will be executed. So the next slide will be presented by Peter. Can you continue the explanation, Peter?
Yes, I'm going to share my screen. Just 1 second. Can you see my slides?
Yeah.
Great, thank you. So as Shingo said, we also have a supply chain example, which features the most basic form of interoperability that we know, where you can present a consistent data view of different ledgers in the application layer by having a backend that has the ability to talk to all the different ledgers where you're storing data. And our supply chain example demonstrates this ability by being an end-to-end example, containerized, where you get a front-end application that can track this made-up use case where a bamboo horse occurs, then bookshelves are made out of that material, and then those bookshelves are then shipped. And the interesting thing there is that all these three steps of the end-to-end supply chain are tracked on a different ledger. The first one on Basis, the second one on Quorum, and the lastly, it's the shipments are on Fabric. And I'm not going to demo this right now. We are short on time, but if you're interested in an actual demo, there was a breakout session a couple days ago. So feel free to look that up as well. And regarding our expected 1.0 features, we would like to add more support for traditional distributed ledger technologies. And we really hope to showcase how the plugin architecture can enable this and how it can foster an open source community around the Cactus project where people come in and contribute their plugins either as connectors or other types of extensions. Which leads me to my next point, which is that we also have a library of extension plugins, such as atomic swaps via HTLCs, which are still in their infancy, but we are getting there. And of course, we would like to have more examples, more stability in the code. We need to nail down the API design for 1.0 and pass all the security checks, of course, which is very much in progress as we speak. And another thing I should mention is Corda enterprise support, of course. We do have Corda as a supported ledger as of right now, but that's only been tested with the Corda open source version. So that's why it's important to highlight Corda enterprise separately. And the other important thing is that we take interop seriously. We're also talking to other projects, labs, or even just proposals within Hyperledger about joining forces in some shape or form. Whatever it may be, however we can work together and reuse each other's code, it should be done, in our opinion, for creating the community that's going in the same direction and does not, or not does not, but does as little duplicate work as possible. Because at the end of the day, if we are all working on similar things, then the overall quality could be improved if we are sharing some parts of the code at least. We also have collaborations with Hyperledger special interest groups, such as the Climate Action and Accounting SIG and the Trade Finance SIG. The Climate Action and Accounting SIG has a carbon accounting tool that we are exploring with them, how we could add a Cactus connector plugin in there to help them out with certain issues that they're having right now with ledger communication. And the the completely breaking news there is that we are also talking about coming out with a use case that combines trade finance and climate action. But that is so new that it is literally just an email thread for now that started up this week. So I cannot say much more about that just yet. The release plan is we would like to start with a release candidate in autumn. The month is, we don't know which month it's going to be yet, but definitely this fall. And then after that, once we are satisfied through the release candidate that we are ready for the actual release of 1.0, then we will make that happen. And in the meantime, as in between right now and the fall, we also plan on issuing bi-weekly minor releases with any new features, any interface changes as we go along. So if you'd like to keep up with the development of Cactus, then definitely check out the releases as they come every 2 weeks. And I will conclude there. Just one more thing I wanted to mention is that there's a link to our wiki page where there's a link to our calendar where you can find daily pair programs that we run every day in the morning hours of Pacific time. So if you wanted to try out Cactus and something's not working, or maybe you just had a quick question, feel free to join in there and ask us because that session is just there specifically for community members to be able to hop in and ask something and get an answer right away. And with that said, I will open it up to Q&A. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Peter. So I believe that the people in the floor cannot speak up. So can you type in the question and on the QA windows if you have any question and comments?
Yes, we do have a few questions as of right now.
Oh, really?
Yes, you just have to click on the Q&A tab instead of the chat tab.
Yeah, I could not see any updates. So can you read out some questions?
Yes,
Sorry.
I'll do that. We only have a few minutes. So Mohan asked, who or which party would run the Cactus infrastructure and how will transaction costs be charged to the parties involved? Technically, it sounds good.
Can
I can
you?
answer that
Okay,
if
yeah.
you'd like to, but please go ahead and answer it.
Yeah, go ahead. You first.
Okay. So the idea is that companies who would join together to form a consortium could all run a node, but if you want to, you can run your own node just by yourself. There's flexibility in that. So the short answer is it depends. And then transaction charges would still be paid by the person or the application interacting with the Cactus APIs themselves. Cactus does not introduce a sort of a toll booth. We want to stay away from that. In that sense, the usage of Cactus is free. There's no additional sort of transaction payment infrastructure introduced on top of what the ledgers do themselves whatsoever. Second question. Thanks for the presentation. This is from Craig. How would you classify the production releases or readiness of the Hyperledger Cactus project, e.g. for integrating Hyperledger Fabric and Corda? When do you expect 1.0? Oh, I think this
It's a
came in just before the
good question.
slide. Yes.
Yeah, we do not have any the judgment for the perspective. However, we think we will list up to the certain list of the expected future as a part of the release plan. So when all the release plan is safely produced and there is no bug, that is a kind of perspective of we are ready to go for the release candidates. That is all the common in the Hyperledger project. That is my understanding.
And the last question is from Guzman. Which guarantees Cactus provides to assure receiver blockchain the information past the consensus protocol from the origin blockchain?
Yeah, I believe that is can you back to the slide of the architecture? We are providing to the validator as the trust point. So the validator will be previous slide, I guess. Thank you. The validator will be determined to the finalities. Even the original ledger itself does not provide such as things. So the validator and the Cactus node will be also having a trust relationship between. So that was named to the consortium mechanism, right? So that is a mechanism that you are asking, I guess. So the other basically the Cactus does not provide to the general the wide range of the trust, but we will providing to the user-to-user contract. We'll be providing to the level of the assurance or service grades. So that is our assumption in the use of the Cactus. So even the same pair of the ledger, there is a multiple the Cactus node can be deployed for the that purposes to differentiate it to the service level or qualities.
Yes, and unfortunately, this is all we have time for. We have to finish on time. So thank you all for joining, and have a great conference.
Thank you very much for the participating, and we are expecting to the many people to join us for the exciting project to be achieved the great goal. Thank you very much, and have a good day. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.